This year. When I started, I was not looking for anything extra. At the time, I was working as a nurse, and I flip-flopped days and nights. I did holidays, weekends. We had 3 little boys at home, and my husband and I also own restaurants in the St. Louis area. So if you know anything about traditional business, you are married to it. You eat, sleep, and breathe it, and that's what he did. So he left at 4:30 in the morning, and sometimes we wouldn't see him until 9 or 10 at night, and then he could work the weekends too. So just very busy family, keeping up with the 3 kids, keeping up the house, yada yada, you know it if you're a mama. So not looking for anything else, but I saw a good friend of mine posting on Facebook that I had, prior to being a nurse with, used to personal train with her in Kansas City. And she's a single mom, and so when I first saw her post, I really didn't know if I believed it, because I know that she knew that you have to eat well and exercise to have results like that. But curiosity got the best of me, because I trusted my friend and I knew that she wouldn't be doing something like that she didn't believe in. So I messaged her and asked to try a wrap. I don't think she told me about being a loyal customer. She was like, yeah, it's $30, so she even charged me more. So I tried that one wrap, and I was not in the 90%. So I said, your wraps don't work, haha, joke's on you. She said, no, you have to try more than one. And I said, okay, but I'm not paying $30 again. So I ordered as a loyal customer, tried some wraps, greens, eye cream, I don't remember. I was supportive of my friend. And honestly, just wanted to try it because I'm a sucker for products. Who else is a sucker for products? I had like 50 eye creams under the counter. Oh, not enough. So anyway, the eye cream is actually what has me standing here. I tried another wrap and I got great results, and I was loving the greens, but none of them I hadn't tried the greens long enough to see like a big difference in it. Now it's my favorite product. But the eye cream, I noticed within 3 days, just the difference in what it did for my eyes. Even my husband was like, something's different on your face. And I was like, yes. Because y'all know if they notice, it's like, it's a big deal. So I called her up and I'm like, I'm signing up. I'm going to do this. I'm going to talk to people about these products. They're awesome. So instead of sending them your way, I'm going to put the money in my pocket. I thought at the time, this is just like anything else. So if you go out to eat and you have like this amazing dinner, you tell your friends, right? You're like, you have to try this restaurant. We have the best service, the food's amazing, and they go and eat there. And it's the same thing with this business. That's how you do it. So if you go to Target, you find a mascara you love, you tell your friends, right? Same exact thing. If you take that approach that you're always just sharing something that you love, then you never feel like a salesperson. So that's what I did. And I started using the products, Fat Fighters and Greens, and within a couple weeks, I had lost probably about 5 pounds. But I was walking down to the bus stop to take my kids to the bus stop in our subdivision, and some of the moms down at the bus stop were like, wow, what are you doing? I was so shy, y'all. I was like, oh, I'm just eating well, and I'm using these supplements. Because that was it. I didn't say like, you can order for me. I was just like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. How's Bob? I was so nervous about it. So even though in my head I was like, yes, I'd be so excited, I really was nervous about telling people that I sold something. Because a lot of times they go, oh, I have a circle for you, and it is over there. So anyway, they were like, okay, well, tell us more about it. And I told them about the wraps and this and that, and finally I said, okay, well, I'm a distributor. And they wanted to have a party, so then I was really freaking out. So my enroller again lives in Kansas City. I had no one here. I had no one to help me at this party they wanted me to come and do. And they invited like so many mamas from the bus stop. So I'm like, great, I'm gonna see these people every single day. Wraps, don't fail me now. So I go down to this party, and it was a good sized party, maybe like 8 people or something. And they all tried wraps, and every single one of them became a loyal customer, and I had no clue what I was talking about. I was just like, oh my gosh, you get a wrap, and you get a wrap, and we're just having so much fun. And honestly, I was just so excited about it, and that was the ticket. I didn't have to know everything. They were asking questions I'm like, I did not know, and I was like looking it up, and it was fine. It was fine. Nobody cared. We just had fun. And so don't put a bunch of pressure on yourself if you're like, oh, I really want to do a launch or something, but I don't know what to do. Nobody cares. Just have fun, be excited, and let them try to wrap. So I went home and I had all that cash, from the wrap party. And that night, stayed up a little bit later. And I was sitting in the chair and I'm like posting more on Facebook and, you know, sending some messages about trying the products to some friends. And my husband walked out for some reason. I guess maybe he heard me or whatever. And I was sitting in the chair, and this is the first time, because I didn't tell him I signed up, because I left that part out, I just did it. It wasn't his business. So I'm sitting in the chair, super excited, and here he comes out of the bedroom, and he looks at me and he's like, what in the are you doing? And I'm like, babe, just go into bed, I'm gonna make us $1 million. It's like, right. That really, you know, was an awesome, exciting momentum that I needed. But then I just kept, you know, if I could just make $500, that would be great. A month into it, found out I was pregnant with number 4. He liked to surprise us. And at that time, everything changed. So at that time, I thought, oh man, I don't want to go back to work after I have him. I've done this. Like, you work from the time, you know, it's dark in the morning, you leave, and then you get there and you work all day. If you're a nurse, you do not leave in 12 hours. Isn't that right, nurses? You're there. It can be 13, 14-hour days, and especially labor and delivery, because moms don't say, it's shift change, I'm not going to push out a baby. You know, they don't do that. So, then you stay in your chart, and when you drive back home and it's dark again, we'll do 3 of those in a row, and you miss a lot of that baby's life. A lot can happen in 3 days when there's so little. And I just didn't want to miss that again. I didn't want somebody saying, you know, your baby did this today, took first steps, said mom, whatever. I just didn't want to. So back then they called them boot camps, kind of like what we're doing tonight, one team, one mission, but it was called a boot camp. It was in St. Louis. I had worked a full shift, and then they had it. And I went. I went by myself. I sat in the very back. I knew nobody, but the stories that I heard on that stage that day were so inspiring to me, and I remember thinking, I'm going to do that too. And at the time, I really just wanted to replace my income and pay for insurance, because again, we got benefits through me, so that was double diamond. That's all I wanted. I would have just, you know, it would have been everything, and it was. So I worked really hard. I copied leaders, you know, gave up girls' night outs. I quit watching TV. I still don't watch TV. I haven't watched TV in 3 years, except for the occasional, like I watch football with my son and my husband and stuff like that. And a guilty pleasure, who watched The Bachelor. Terrible. But that's it. And I usually record it and watch that late at night. So I still don't give up my time for those kind of things often. I still work just as hard as I always have. But double diamond was the goal, and I hit it on maternity leave. A lot of work to do it, but it meant that I didn't have to go back to work when I had that baby, and so that was my ultimate goal, and I did it. So 10 months in, and then what happened was I had this shift. So at first it was like me. I got to get to double. I got to be home with this baby, right? But then I hit double, and I thought, holy crap, how many people are out there that want that same thing? And then that became my focus. So if I would enroll a new distributor, I mean, I would just ask them, what do you want? Do you want $500? You know, this is what you need to do, and we'd get that plan. But if they were saying, no, I want to do what you did, I want to be home, that to me is more satisfaction than anything I've done for myself today. And that also, somebody else said it, but that also, when you give enough people what they want, I mean, it comes back to you tenfold. So just really put that on other people, and put your heart out for other people, and be genuine. Don't be fake. Don't say, you know, you're thinking in your head, I need a loyal customer, and they're telling you, I can't afford the products. Well, you're barking at the wrong tree, because you need to present the opportunity. That's what they need. They need the opportunity. So listen to them when you're talking to them, and forget about what you need on your chart, and figure out what they need, and then help them get that, and then you'll be here too if this is what you want.